If I was to describe India in one word, it would be exciting. Keep you on your toes, always.
First one was complicated.
Am I allowed to say different?
Chaotic, but not in a bad way.
Just stunning.
Unreal.
I don't want to say beautiful, but that's just how I could describe it, as beautiful.
Mr. Williams had us all, before we left, write down or think about what we expected the trip to look like and what we expected to see. And the part of India that we visited to was very, very different than what all of us had in mind.
So we landed in Delhi, which is like one of the biggest cities in the world. We were at the airport, so it wasn't crazy there. Once we landed in Bagdogra, it was just like a new world of just chaotic driving. Like in India, people use their horns as just like letting you know that they're behind you.
I heard someone compare it to the fact that like you're in like a Mario Kart video game. No one's really like following any laws or rules. And there's a cow in the middle of the road every now and then.
The culture itself was just very different. Like we went to a wedding and I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be so like unwelcoming because we're just crashing their wedding, and they were so welcoming, they loved it. And we took like so many pictures and they gave us tea.
It made me really think about culture in a different way. Every single person who we met and every single place we stayed, there is this just generosity.
Another really amazing part of the trip was getting to meet all the girls at the Happiness Home and learning about them and their stories and getting to play Duck Duck Goose with them.
The girls were so cute. Everyone was so happy, always had a smile on their face, always going at 100 miles an hour.
They were doing like dances from India for us, and then we were showing like the Cupid Shuffle, which was not near as impressive, but it was still very fun to dance with all of them that night.
We read to them and cooked with them, and I'm very happy to have had that and sad to have had to leave.
It's called the Happiness Home, and it seems cliche, but that really was one of the most positive, just cheerful places that I've been to.
In the US, we expect everything to be sort of neat and orderly, and you stand in line and you have your trash picked up on the same day every week, and everything just has a set way. And in India, that's definitely not the case. There's a lot of things that seem like they don't make sense.
I think just the things that we don't think about are not as available, and it makes you really appreciate what you have.
I took away how simple life can be. People didn't add a lot of little extra things into their lives. They had clothes, they had food, they had water, and they were happy.
What was most impactful was seeing in person how the tenets of Buddhism and Hinduism and the values of compassion and altruism and like servant-minded generosity played out in real life.
We are so privileged, and it's a very big contrast when you came from how we were kind of living and what all we saw, and then coming back to like the kind of like Southern football American society. Went to a basketball game next week. Like, it's very different reality, and it kind of, I don't know, makes you question what you value.
I definitely did not expect for this trip to have such a transformational effect on not changing my values, but changing how I feel like they need to be represented in my life.
I feel the thing that had the most impact on me from the trip had to have been, they basically practice the golden rule every day: treat others how you would like to be treated, and holding on to things will eventually harm you, so you're just supposed to go with the flow.